Welcome to tecversity. This is Venkatesh Natraj. Hope you all are doing great. In this video, I'm going to talk about Windows Server 2025 preview. Microsoft officially released the preview version of Windows Server 2025 in the month of July. And the link is in the description, and also I'll show how to register and how to download and what are the changes in the installation process and what are the significant improvements from the previous versions. If you remember, from 2012 onwards, the installation UI has remained the same till 2022 server. Now that has been updated. There is a significant changes in the UI. We see that while we installation. I'll discuss about that. Not just only that, even some of the features has enabled by default. For example, when you install Server 2022, after the installation, you have to go to features and enable the Bluetooth or wireless configurations. Now that has become by default. So as soon as you complete the installation, you have an option to connect to the nearest wireless network, available network, and you can activate the server. Not just the wireless, even the Bluetooth. So, and apart from that, there are some significant changes in the Active Directory, Hyper-V, and other security things, which I will be discussing while installation. I'll be touch basing on the high level, but we will be doing a separate video on each of these topics. I will be doing a separate video on comparison from 2022 to 2025. Probably you can expect that in next week or probably 10 days. I will be doing that. And apart from that, this is just the preview. The golden image or the GA of the original Server 2025 is anticipated or expected to release in Q4. So since we are in Q4 2024, we can expect that anytime this month or before end of the December. This is what the current anticipation is. So we look forward to it. Now, before getting into the installation and the configuration, if you haven't subscribed to tecversity, make sure you subscribe to it and share this video with your friends and family. And please don't forget to click on the bell icon. That will give you the next updates or the notifications on your mobile or on your computer. So let's get into the details. Yeah, let's see how to download the Server 2025. I'm going to share on this screen now. So just go to browser, type Windows Server 2025 preview and go to the first link. This will take you to the Microsoft site, which has all the evaluation versions where you can download from the evaluation center of Microsoft, and you have this page, and here we have multiple options to download the Server 2025 preview. Now we have an option to download the VHD, which is kind of a hard drive which you can use to connect to Hyper-V machines, or you can connect it to VMware. Now ISO is typically this kind of an image that you can download. You use that as a disk to run or spin up a virtual machine, and you can use that as an image source or kind of a CD. And you can also try to run a virtual machine on Windows Server, on Windows Azure, on Microsoft Azure, using a virtual machine with the Server 2025 preview. So these are the options. So I will go with the download the ISO. I will download that source file, the ISO image, and I will use that as an option, that file, to spin up a new virtual machine, and I will show the installation process. So to register for the free trial, so it will be the same process. So I'll just give my name and other details, my email address, tecversity. So all the asterisk, whenever you see the asterisk, that's very important. So, and for phone number, in case if you really don't want to give, just enter randomly some zeros. That should be fine. And once you click on the download, it will take you to this page where you will see again multiple options. Depends on the region and the language that you prefer to have. So since I will go with the ISO image and 64-bit for English version, so I will select this, but you can also have an option to select the VHD, which is a virtual hard drive, which you can use that on the Hyper-V machines. You can click on it and it will be a 64-bit. Now you can also try again on Azure. From here it will take you directly to the Azure portal, where in case if you don't have an account, you can sign up for it and you can create a virtual machine on cloud, on Microsoft Azure platform. And you have other language options like Russian, Spanish, Italian, French, Chinese. So I'll go with this English. I'll click on it and I see that it is downloading. It says it's a 4.9 GB, that's approximately 5 GB of file, and it will take few minutes for me to download it. So I'll just pause this video for here. Right after the downloading finishes, I will resume and I will show how to install that on virtual machine. I'll typically show how to install it, whether it's a virtual machine or a physical machine, it doesn't matter, because the installation process remains the same. So I'll just hold here. I'll go ahead. The download of server 2025 is completed, so the file is here. So let me go ahead and create a virtual machine now. I'll create a new virtual machine with server 2025. So this will be Windows Server 2025 preview, and I'll leave this as generation 2. And the good part about Server 2022, since this has come up, I would like to highlight this. From Server 2025, the new Hyper-V, whatever the changes they have made generation 2 as by default. There is no option to select generation 1. So everything from 2025, once the installation and once you enable Hyper-V on Server 2025, you will not see this option anymore. So this is one of the changes they have made. So going forward, all the virtual machines that will be created in Server 2025 will be by default 64-bit, and it runs only on Gen 2. There is no Gen 1 concept in Server 2025. So I'll give this as a 8 GB of RAM. Let me make this tick mark. I'll select the default switch. Next, I'll leave it as it is, and here I'll select the downloadable file. So now I have the downloadable file here. So this is the ISO that I have downloaded. So I'm giving it next, finish, and I'll make some changes quickly at the configuration to ensure it is running pretty fast. So I see that number of processors are 8. Make sure it is only this. Start and connect. So the moment I started, now it is, so here is it. It is asking me to boot from the CD. Now if I have to do that once again, I'll click on Ctrl D. Yes, I pressed it. Yes, so we can see now the installation process of Server 2025 preview. Like I mentioned, they have made some changes at the UI. Now we will experience what are those. So I don't select or I don't change any of these options. I will go with whatever the by default options it is providing, the input and everything. So here if you see this option has changed. It's saying install Windows Server or repair my PC, and you have to click on the agree, everything will be deleted. In case if I'm saying installation and if there is a previously anything on that particular hard drive that I'm choosing, it will remove everything. If it is just a repair, we have to select this. So I will just go with the installation since we created a new virtual machine with a new virtual hard disk, so there's nothing on it. So I'll go with this. Here we have again these options remains the same. So it says standard version and standard version with desktop experience, which is like a GUI where you have this graphical user interface, which is pretty much we all use it. And for the regular standard evaluation, it is remains the same. It is PowerShell screen. You will see only the command prompt. You have to run or install everything. You configure everything using the PowerShell commands. So I will go with this data center evaluation and desktop experience. Click on next. It's just the regular EULA and end users license agreement. Click on accept and moving to the next step. Here, this is the change. This is a big change in the screen that we see, because we had a different screen previously, and here we have this option to create the more options. Here it has provided more options to create partitions, create extended partition, and format the partition and all this. So previously it was different. If possible, I will show that image while I'm editing this video, but yeah, pretty much this is how it looks like. And now I will not change anything. I will go with this option. I will allocate this 127 GB by default. I'm not making any changes here. So this is one of the UI change that we notice it, and it's saying it's ready to install. This screen is also different. Now click on install. So you can see that change in the UI. You can feel that difference in the UI process. It was slightly different from previously. The steps, almost the installation process remains the same, but only the UI has made some changes, and otherwise the process remains the same. Whatever we how do we install, there is no major difference. It's the same. So let's see, it's running 17% finished. It will restart almost for once, I think twice it will restart, and it will run up. So I will pause the video for now. Once this installation is finished, I will resume that right after the restarting of this particular virtual machine. I will resume, and I will show what are the next steps. So we can see that virtual machine which I have created has been completed the installation, and it got restarted. This is the first restart. So here also we can see some changes. UI is showing that installation is still in progress, and it's saying that keep your computer on. The installation process has jumped from 0 to 33%. That's a good sign. So it's going pretty fast. So yeah, let's see what changes we see here. Okay, so the installation is actually restarted only once. It's not even restarted twice. So we are good here. Now by default the administrator password, I mean the username is administrator. Now I'll give the password as India@123 by default for all my virtual machines. So I'll give that, and let's see what we have here. India@123. Okay, now it's going through. So it's asking, since this is a preview, it is recommended to enable these options so that Microsoft will keep a track on things where it is failing, in case if there is a bug or if everything going well or not. So it will automatically logs that details and shares with Microsoft. So it's always go with this include optional, and here we go. So this is the screen of Windows Server 2025. Now if you see, it shows similar like Windows 11, like how we have this taskbar in the center. It looks the same, so we can edit that. You can change the taskbar settings to however you want, but it pretty much looks like Windows 11. You have that refreshing feel of having a running a client operating system, though it's running a server. This is the one of the key change. Now apart from this, there are few other changes that I will be touch basing on it. So I'll move to the slide where I have created some of the key changes about what is that changed from server 2022 to 2025. I'm not covering everything, but very high level I will discuss some of those. So let me show that in a minute. Here are some of the key advantages or upgrades from previous version to server 2025 preview, and we are expecting more to come in, but these are few of them which I have listed down. For example, the GA, like I mentioned, it's going to be anytime in Q4. We are already in Q4. It could be in November or December or any time in the near future. And the public release of preview has released in July 2024. The hot patching has been upgraded, or it got revamped from the previous versions. So the security patches doesn't need to have a reboot. So this is one of the key thing, because most of the servers, when we update, we try to do it on non-business servers, or we will plan for a change request to reboot the servers because it will require for a server reboot. So this is one of the key thing. We will not have this reboot option going forward, at least for hot patching some critical security updates that will give zero downtime, and all our servers will be up available all the time. So it's a fantastic feature, I would say, and it's going to be help a lot for the system admins who are working on keeping, because once the server restarts, right, we never know what kind of problems will come or it will arise, and we have to make sure all the services are coming on time, and we have to meet that time frame of the particular time window that we announced to the customer, saying that the services will be downtime for some particular period. This is going to be a groundbreaking option. There no security for the security updates. The system doesn't need a reboot. It's a fantastic feature. Similarly, there are few other features you can, it's on the screen. I'm not going to talk everything, but these are one of the key things, like Active Directory enhancements. Stronger Kerberos encryption will happen using AES with SHA 256 or SHA 384. We will have a separate topic to discuss on this particularly. Similarly, like I mentioned, all virtual machines creating on server 2025 using Hyper-V will be using the generation 2, and they will know generation 1 or 32-bit support going forward. And support for Microsoft Office 365 will give a next level that will have integrate with the Microsoft 365 apps for the entire 5-year mainstream support period. So that will be on the server, on the Office 365 side. And on the resilient file system, like I did a separate video about the file systems, so NTFS, FAT, and the other file systems. So REFS is a very advanced file system. We will have a native deduplication support for the enhanced storage efficiency that will process the data pretty fast. So these are very high level advantages, I would say, or an upgrades from the previous version of server 2022 to server 2025 preview, and we are expecting more to come in. Once the GA is available, the Microsoft officially will announce about the complete changes, and we will also look forward to it. So pretty much that's it for now. Hope this video is useful, and that's about the server 2025 preview. So looking forward for the GA. As soon as the GA is available, I will make another video about it, and I will be doing a comparison video. And make sure you subscribe to this channel and click on the bell icon for the updates on the next videos. Looking forward to it. Till then, cheers. Have a good day.